You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, well, I got to tell you, what is next to come out of the Dianna Russini saga? I did a video yesterday afternoon, New York Times. They did an article, despite the fact that she actually worked for The Athletic, which is owned by the New York Times. They did their own article with their own journalists digging into the Dianna Russini situation. And even in this article, a lot of things are starting to come out. And I see this particular one, and I'm like, what else did Dianna Russini do using the National Football League to her advantage? What all is going to come out of the woodwork on this that people are going to find? Word has it, and I talked about this yesterday, there's coaches, personnel people around the league very nervous right now. Not with the Patriots. Okay, not with the Patriots. Like, what all was she doing, and with whom was she doing it with? Now we've got this little tidbit that's come out, and I find this wild. She flexed her NFL inside her credentials, essentially, to get out of a ticket that she was being given by a police officer. She literally used an NFL coach to get out of trouble with the law. This is going to keep getting more and more twisted, I think. Florio, yeah. So, right here, the new article from the New York Times focusing on Dianna Russini opens with a story she told in a January 2026 podcast appearance. That's the thing. Some of this stuff she's admitted to in public, but nobody was really paying attention. Now, people's going back and finding this and digging around, and it's raising eyebrows. A police officer had pulled Dianna Russini over for texting and driving. Her two young sons were in the car. She told the officer that Buffalo Bills coach Sean McDermott had been fired and that she was trying to break the news. That's another thing about NFL insiders. Everybody's trying to cut each other's throats to be the first one to hit send. By the way, even if they get the story wrong. Yeah. When the officer said he was a fan of another team, besides the Bills, she offered to get the coach of that team on the phone. God damn. Oh, shit. Quote, "Do you want to talk to the coach? Question mark. Russini said on the podcast, you should talk to the coach." By the way, she's trying to get out of the speeding ticket, and we learned yesterday her salary was $800,000 a year. You're making $800 large a year. You're trying to conjure up special favors with NFL coaches to get you out of a ticket. Probably a $200 ticket. Quote, "I FaceTimed the head coach. The head coach is in his office. He said, 'What's up?' I go, 'I just got pulled over, and I just wanted you to meet my friend, Officer Joe.' The coach said to the officer, 'You should let her go. She's a good citizen.'" Dianna Russini was not ticketed. The New York Times reports that the coach in question wasn't Patriots coach Mike Vrabel. Oh, shit. The coach in question has not been identified. You can almost bet your ass that's going to come out. Later, the article has a quote from a New York Times company spokeswoman who described the effort to get a coach to talk a police officer out of ticketing Russini, quote, unacceptable conduct. Yeah, that's the thing. We're finding out New York Times owns the Athletic. You're not supposed to be using your employment to get out of tickets. As mentioned earlier, the New York Times article feels like an appetizer for the upcoming disclosure of the results of the investigation conducted by The Athletic, which is owned by the Times. The incident involving a FaceTime call to a coach for help in getting out of a ticket will undoubtedly be cited in the final report of the internal probe. She's getting probed. She's getting probed. She's gotten probed in more than one way. Wow. I'm waiting. I'm just going to keep it real. Aren't we waiting to find out there was another coach that Mike Vrabel wasn't the only rooster in her hen house? I'm just allegedly. I'm not talking about him allegedly. I mean, I think we know by now. But I'm just saying, how many of these coaches out there are like, holy shit, that saw the Mike Vrabel, Diana Russini picture and had a cold chill go down their spine? I just want all of us looking at coaches in that 35 to 52-year-old range. I don't know. There's going to be some, and then you got the tell-all that's coming at some point. The tell-all to everybody. Yes. Oh, you're a fan of the 49ers. Yeah. You're a fan of the Rams. Uh-oh. Oh, you're a Bears fan? Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell, you're a Lions fan? You see where I'm going with this, folks. There's suspicion now around the possible tampering, conflict of interest between the Titans having traded for Julio Jones when Mike Vrabel was coach. And she was reporting all this stuff that was making people scratch their heads. And it's like, oh, was Julio Jones trade talk part of pillow talk after the fact? Question mark? Tell me what you think. Wow. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.